This homemade apple galette is so easy to make. It has a buttery, flaky crust and it is filled with thick and gooey cinnamon and vanilla flavored apple filling. And the recipe is so simple that we'll need only 5 basic ingredients to make the pie crust. And in this video, let's see how to make this delicious flaky apple galette in 4 simple steps. So before making the dough, I'm cutting this frozen butter into thin slices. To make the pie crust, we'll need our butter to be thin and solid. So now after slicing, I'm keeping it again in the freezer. And now let's start by preparing our pie dough. Into a bowl, I'm adding the flour, some sugar and salt, and give it a good stir. I took the butter out from the freezer and I'm adding it into the flour and just toss it in flour. And now let's add some water into this to form it into a dough. I'm adding very cold water, 1 tablespoon at a time, and mixing it with the help of a fork. I'm not using my hands now as our body temperature can soften the butter. And while making a pie dough, we don't need to activate the gluten, and so we need to use as little water as possible while making the dough. And now I've added 4 tablespoons of water, and you can see the butter softened a little and some parts of the flour seems to remain dry. But if you take that flour and squish it, it can form a shape. And this indicates that our dough is hydrated just the way that we want. And now it's ready for the next step. So I'm transferring this onto a clean work surface. Then press the dough to form a rough, crumbly, flat sheet. I'm using a bench scraper to fold it again from 4 sides. And then again press the dough, and I'm trying to form a compact slab of dough. And now the butter started to turn soft and it's getting sticky. And so I'm transferring this dough onto a plastic film. Again, press and form it into a disc shape. Then wrap it. And with the help of a rolling pin, I'm trying to make it evenly thick. So now I'm placing this dough disc into the fridge for about 60 minutes so that the butter will be cold and our dough will be stiff and pliable. And so it will be easy for us to work with the dough. And just before taking the dough out from the fridge, let's make the apple filling. So here I've taken pink lady apples. We can use any apples that are crisp in texture and that have a sweet and tart flavor. I took 2 of them and we can slice them thin or thick according to our preference. And now I'm adding 1/4 of a cup of sugar, a pinch of salt to balance the taste, a teaspoon of cinnamon powder, and I'm also adding 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, which nicely complements and enhances the flavor of cinnamon. An apple filling is best when it has that subtle cinnamon flavor and with a nice sweet and tart flavor. So if you find your apples to be sweet and not tangy, we can add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice to bring out that taste and flavor. And if they are not that sweet, we can add a little more sugar into this. And as the moisture from apples ooze out, we need to add some thickener into this. So I'm adding 1 tablespoon of corn flour into this. We can also add plain flour instead. Mix everything together and keep it aside. And after 60 minutes, our dough is now ready. So let's assemble our galette. So roll it out into a thin sheet. I'm placing a parchment paper on top. It will prevent the dough sticking to the rolling pin, and so we can roll out the dough smoothly. Roll it out to form a pastry sheet of approximately 3 to 4 millimeter thick. Once our dough is rolled out, we can simply roll it around the rolling pin and then unroll it onto the baking tray. See, the moisture from the apples oozed out and our filling has got some liquid part to it. And now place the apple filling into the center. I'm not pouring the liquid part now. And to make them look more pretty, I'm rearranging the apple slices to form a round shape. And now fold the edges from all sides. You can see now our pie dough turned soft again, and if we place this soft dough into the hot oven right now, all those butter will melt so quickly and we'll end up with a pool of melted butter. And so to prevent that, we are going to place it into the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes. So place it into the freezer and now start preheating the oven to 410 Fahrenheit or 210 C. And now after 15 minutes, our dough is now firm. So it's now ready. I'm going to give an egg wash on top of the crust. This egg wash will give that beautiful shine and golden color to our galette when it's been baked. I'm pouring this cinnamon and vanilla flavored sweet apple juice into the center of the filling. And finally, sprinkling the top with some sugar. And now it's ready to go into the oven. And to make the best flaky apple galette, the baking temperature and duration is important. So place it into a 410 Fahrenheit preheated oven and bake for 25 minutes. And then reduce the temperature to 375 Fahrenheit and bake for another 18 to 20 minutes or until the top gets golden brown in color. And after baking, we'll get that beautiful galette which is golden brown in color and it smells amazing. The apple filling is really hard when it is just out of the oven. So let it cool down for about 10 to 15 minutes before slicing. The crust is crispy, flaky, and buttery, and the filling is so good. It's thick, gooey, and has juicy apple slices with that warm and delicious aroma of cinnamon and vanilla. And this is one of the tastiest desserts that we can make at home with the least effort. And I hope you found this recipe simple and easy to make, and hope you will make this at home, and I'm sure everybody will love it. And if you like this video, please give your valuable thumbs up, and please don't forget to share this recipe with your friends and family who love desserts. And thank you so much for your love and support, and thanks for watching this video. See you next time.